Talk about sensuality and conscious consumption, which is an energy exchange. So these topics are related, and sensuality is obviously all about embodiment because our senses are coming from our body. And so sensuality is not sexuality. But for women, sensuality seems sexual because it is the portal for our sexuality to come online. For men, sexuality is different. It doesn't need all of the senses. It doesn't need to be flowy and watery, but it can just be like an action performed. It can just be done really quickly. It can happen in moments. For women, it's like toffee. We need to warm the system up. Or like ice, we need to melt it down in order to become watery and fluid and juicy. So men and women have different functions in this way, but men and women both do have sensuality. And if you are trying to get in touch with your enjoyment and your pleasure in life, then sensuality is a really good pathway. So I want to talk to you about conscious consumption, because with our senses we are consuming. We're receiving information through our ears, through our nose, through our taste buds, and through our skin, the feeling of feeling. And we're receiving information through our eyes. So this is really important for you to be aware that you are receiving information and doing an exchange. What is the exchange when you say, watch a video? You're putting your life force onto that. You're investing your energy and attention into that to have more value in your life. So if you're looking at something, watching videos that you know is not healthy for you or you don't enjoy, that you're investing in your annoyance or suffering or your distaste feeling, and you're programming and validating that that is what you choose to experience in your life. So right now, reflect on, when it comes to what you take in visually, what are you consuming on social media, in your environment, in your home? The photos, the things that remind you of different things, the clutter, the dirt, the people in your home, whatever is there. And now your workplace, where you go to work, what are you taking in there? And what about in your relationships? Emotionally, what are you receiving? What are you actually receiving monetarily? Are they helping you out financially? Are they giving you gifts? Are they providing support with physical touch or with services to you? They're good at fixing cars or computers. What is the exchange in your relationships? What do they give you? Please pause the video if you feel at all inspired to contemplate any of these deeper. And then, of course, from your contemplations, if you realize, oh my gosh, I'm in this relationship because they give me this, and that's what I'm getting out of it. I didn't even bring consciousness to that. The step further is journal about it, message the person, go talk to them, do something that takes action on that realization, because we can have a million realizations and none of them will land if we don't take action on it. This happens a lot in medicine ceremonies. So what else are you consuming? When it comes to food, do you consume junk food? Do you consume really healthy superfoods? And everything absorbs and does energy exchanges. And food, especially animals, just like humans, absorb energies. So when you buy animal products like meat that came from a farm where the animals were treated well, you're consuming that energy. Versus if you get a burger from McDonald's, you are consuming the energy of the animals that suffered in that process, and it's going inside of you. And karmically, you now took in that energy on some level. And we don't know when we deal with that. Maybe it's not even in this lifetime. Maybe in the next lifetime, we deal with all of the karma that we picked up. We don't know how that works. But we do know that we absorb energies that we put in, we take in. Even if we just look at something. So with our scent, for example, this is another part of sensuality, is our scent is when you smell another person, your body is letting you know if you're a match or not. If you smell them and you go like, oh my God, that smells terrible, then it's likely telling you something that you should repel and not physically connect any deeper. And this is the problem with wearing so much perfume and cologne, is we can't sense each other's pheromones. Why do you think dogs smell each other's butts? There's a lot of information in that. And we could be picking better partners if we were more in tune with our senses. And also, there is an intuitive sense that is symbolic of our nose. Like if you ever break your nose or you hit your nose or something happens to your nose and you're really stuffed, it's a sign that you're not being intuitive, you're not listening, you're not using your senses. But yeah, so when you smell somebody and they smell really intoxicating and really yummy and like, wow, I like the way they smell, I like their scent, I want to like get close to them, that's a good sign. Your animal is really wise, your body is really wise. And when it comes to food, this is huge. We are meant to eat fruit because when we see fruit, our first sense, it lets us know, oh my God, food, bright berries, mango in the tree. We see it and we automatically go like, oh wow, yummy, juicy, hydrating, easy to eat. Could just eat it right now. It's ready for me. I don't need anything. I can just eat it immediately. But we don't have that same feeling when we see a pig in a farm that's all smelly and dirty and rolling around in the mud. We're not like drooling and salivating and wanting to like bite into the body of a pig and like rip its head off and like fight and wrestle with it. Of course, we don't have the mouth to bite it. We don't have the stomach to stomach the guts and the blood and all of that. And we don't have the nails to destroy it. We don't have the strength to even do that. So what we would need is a tool. And of course, I don't believe anything specific anymore about what diet is best for humans. I think it depends on where you're at in your journey and what you're dealing with health-wise, and we're all doing our best to understand what is the best way. I used to be vegan for 8 years, and now I'm more open to nourishing myself with products that sometimes have come into contact with animals or are an animal, such as a fish, in order to specifically supplement my body. But whenever I do that, I don't go to a fast food restaurant because I know that I'm intaking bad energy. When I eat something that is more of a sentient being like a fish, I speak with that spirit of the fish and I communicate to it, because yes, the spirit exists. The body of the fish is no longer beating and thriving alive, but there is a spiritual essence that is ethereal and omnipresent. It's everywhere. I can connect to it specifically. To the spirit of this fish, thank you so much to your life. I'll say something along these lines. I give thanks to everything that you went through, for your existence, for the lineages beyond you that birthed you, and for all of the wisdom and the bodies of what you are. You are swimming through the oceans, you're in flow state, or the rivers, you're in flow state. You can thrive in community. You can naturally exist in harmony with the other beings around you, and life gets to be a beautiful flow. And I want to be more like that, and I appreciate what you have to teach me, and I appreciate the nutritional value of your slender, smooth, silky, strong body and muscles. And I hope that I can receive some of the codes that you have, so that I can better my life, so that I can be a better person in this world. Praying for me is a conversation. What I heard recently from one of my shaman mentors is that if you can talk, you can pray. Because praying is essentially just talking to God, to source, to a higher consciousness, to your body, to your food. It's just talking. So as if you're talking to a person, that's how you pray. So I have these potatoes here, these sweet potatoes that are really delicious. And I love them because they ooze this sweetness out of them, and they make me feel really grounded. And unlike a fruit, a potato is raw and like hard, and I wouldn't go and just be like, oh my God, yum, I'm drooling, this hard potato looks so good, and eat it, because my body's not having a reaction. I wish I had fruits here to show you, but when you see a juicy fruit and you want to open it, and say you open it up, and whatever fruit it is of your favorite kind. I love durian. I also love dates. I also love watermelon. Sometimes I need the hydration so bad. You cut open that watermelon and it's just juicy, and can't deny it. Or an orange that's just so juicy. And when your mouth is literally like wanting it, that is a sign that this is a good exchange to have. With meat, sometimes people's mouths water, but it's because they're so used to the salt and the seasonings on the meat. It's not even the meat itself, because there's always seasonings. So when we go and eat more naturally, and we're in alignment with conscious consumption and conscious energy exchanges, we go to this food. Do our eyes say yes? Yes. Okay, there's no mold on it. There's no like rotting bits. There's no blood. There's no hair, nails. Ugh, there's no nasty shit on it. Pardon my language. And my nose. Yeah, that smells really good. I want that. Check in with your nose. And also your hands. Is it prickly? Is it too hot? Is it too ice cold? Feel. And for example, I'll grab this potato right here, right now. If I were to be really in touch with my senses, then I get to be sensually empowered. I get to experience an embodied life, which is what I want to teach you. So when I eat, I often, I wait. I build up my desire for it. When I get my food, yeah, I want to eat it immediately. But what I often do, sometimes I forget I'm human, but what I most often do is I pray into my food and I go, wow, thank you so much, Mother Nature, for this divine creation. I'm so grateful. I'm so hungry, and my body is going to appreciate you so much and assimilate you to the best degree possible. And I promise I will do my best with this life force energy, and I hope that I can receive blessings from this. And I give thanks to the land and the farmers and all the hands who put this together, this food, put the seed in the earth and nurtured the earth. And however this came to be, I bless the process, and may the farmers always have what they need to continue growing healthy food, healthy soil. I talk to my food, and by that time I'm just like, wow, what a blessing it is that I get to receive nourishment. It's not like it just manifested magically in front of my face, perfectly cooked in my hand. There was a process. There was a lot that went into this. And it doesn't need to be this stressful, exhausting process of I have to acknowledge every single thing every time I eat. No, but it's just being aware that sometimes this can be life-changing. It has been life-changing for me. There was a period of time where every single time before I ate, I always prayed. And it allowed me to slow down, because our first part of digestion is our senses, our eyes, our nose. Once we start looking at something and smelling it, if it's right for us to eat it, our stomach acids start to do something different. We start to feel like we're gonna eat something soon, and our body reacts. So it's good to take time to allow your body to prepare. Smelling it, letting your body know what's about to come, looking at it, touching it, inspecting it, making sure that you really want this. And then when you go to eat, really chew it, really taste it, really allow your body to meet it. It's almost like having sex for the first time with somebody. You don't just go and put the whole thing in and see how it feels. It's like you gotta meet that person. You gotta feel into it. You gotta know if it's right for you. You gotta know if you're ready for that. Is it what you want? So same thing with food. Yum, 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 yum. And when you're eating it, close your eyes and tune into the sense of flavor. And feel it go down your throat and land deeper in your stomach. And when you're eating, meditate. So now is a really good time, if you haven't already, grabbed a snack. Pause this video and grab a snack, because I want to guide you into this process. So returning back to this video, you have your snack. Grab that piece of food and look at it in your hand and inspect it with your eyes. You're planning on eating this. Is this something you really want to eat? Does it appeal to you in your eyes? Does it feel in your hands? Does it feel fresh? Does it feel like it has life force, like it's going to help you out? And smell it. Close your eyes and smell it. Are you actually hungry right now? Do you feel your mouth watering? Do you feel a natural magnetism to eating it? Or is that magnetism coming from wanting to suppress your emotions versus being hungry? You'll know the difference. And when you eat it, take a bite and slowly taste it. Truly taste it. It works so much better if there is one ingredient. If you have a sauce on this thing, you don't know what you're tasting. It's all mixed together. And your stomach also is going to have a hard time knowing. It's really good to be eating things that are really pure. So as you're chewing it and you're letting it dissolve and become a bolus, a ball of food ready to be swallowed, not rushing that process. Meditate with this and feel that your body just received something and just took it in. So here we get to become more aware that we have just done an energy exchange. We took something. Now, what are we giving? One thing is, if we're giving thanks, then the energy exchange is already balanced. Usually we give money to the farmers. That's an investment into that continuing on. Or better yet, are we eating because we need energy? So when we eat, can we use that energy for good? Can we go create? Can we go do things? Can we go work or connect with people? Just know that nothing is free in life. So you might have to do some purging of some habits, of some things that you're consuming, of some people. And this is normal. And it needs to happen. So make this a priority, because you are the combination of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you're not happy with the people around you, then you need to change something. And I invite you to pray into your food, pray into your water, give thanks for all these blessings that we receive. And that means that you will receive more blessings. And when it comes to consumption of any sort, remember that you are taking it in. It's an energy exchange. What are you giving back? Because what you give is what you receive. So if you give thanks, if you give honor, if you give respect, then you will receive that too. And I want the best for you, so I hope that you can really genuinely look into how in tune are you with what's coming in, or how much are you just on autopilot, eating things, drinking things, not slowing down, not knowing if things are good or bad for you, just trying to get by. And to talk about sensuality a little bit more, people often think that sensuality means that you are sexual. And because, for example, there's this idea that you feed someone a chocolate strawberry, and for her to eat a chocolate strawberry and go, it's so good, that's sensual. But sensuality is also just taking a big deep breath and loving it and appreciating it. Feels so good to vibrate, to feel our heartbeat. Join with me. To feel our lungs fill up with air. To feel our muscles relax on command. To feel everything melt as we choose to let go. This can be sensuality too. And sensuality is enjoyment, because our senses are here to give us an abundance of joyful experiences. The fact that we get to see colors and beautiful rainbows and fruit that we get to eat, and then we get to, of course, have all these other interesting experiences, like we go to the bathroom, and women, we bleed and we shit and we do these things, and it's like our nose is letting us know, like, did I eat something that was bad for me, or did I eat something that was good for me? Like, despite the dichotomy of things being pleasurable or maybe unpleasant, it's all like information to help us out, so we can be like, wow, thank you life for showing me that that was not good for me to eat. Or, you know, we go into a relationship and something inside of us doesn't feel good and we're like, and then we touch it and we go too far and too deep, and then we're like, oh my god, why didn't I listen to my senses? Well, you got these senses for a reason.